for this match. First referee, Pawarit Musika from Thailand. Second referee, Lanten from Cambodia. It's now time to meet the starters. First, for Vietnam. Setter number 2, Tran Xuan Tan. Outside hitter number 3, Dong Van Thien. Middle blocker number 5, Tran Chien Shou. Outside hitter number 8, Lei Quang Keng. Offset hitter, their team captain number 14, Tu Teng Tuan. Middle blocker number 18, Vu Ngok Huang. And their libero number 1, Huỳnh Trân Truc. Head coach for Team Vietnam is Tai Quang Lai. Let us now meet the starters for Indonesia. Outside hitter number 1, Randy Febriant Mamilang. Outside hitter number 3, Sigit Ardian. Middle blocker number 9, Yuda Mardiansya. Opposite hitter number 12, Rivan Nurmulki. Middle blocker number 18, Iputu Randu. Setter and their team captain number 20, Nizar Julfikar. And their libero number 19, Fareza Raka. Head coach for Team Indonesia is Lee Chiu Jiang.
There you have it, our first 6 from both squads. Of course, these two squads have been facing off and squaring off each other in the past editions of the SEA Games. We saw how, that's the fun part of having an international competition. You have the connivance of all the nations involved,
Yes.
especially in the officiating. We had someone from Vietnam, from Cambodia and Thailand. At syempre, ikaw din, Mela, bahagi ka din ng mga tumutulong dito sa SEA Games. I heard you're volunteering here in the volleyball competition as well.
Yeah, I was actually given the privilege to welcome the players in the hotel, and then I was also able to watch their short training yesterday at the venue. So I'm really excited to see how they play their hearts out here today, because seeing them, we were all starstruck. Seeing them come here in the Philippines now, we want to see them in action today.
And speaking of action, that is where we're headed here as we start our competition here. This is the second game of the men's division here in the 30th Southeast Asian Games in volleyball. We started with the serve from Team Vietnam coming from number 2, Tan. They go set up for a middle hit, but it's rejected, doesn't cross.
Great anticipation there by the middle blocker of Indonesia. By Vietnam, that was a single block from their middle, and ayun nga, maagang nag-anticipate ng atake itong Vietnam.
Mukhang pinantayan agad. That was a hit coming from their middle blocker, number 18, Randu. On the other side, they set up for an open hit, but it goes out. Free point for Indonesia.
Too long by Zhuong Tien. Hindi siya masyadong naka-atras for that attack, and he had to, place back to get that ball over.
Looking at the lineup of Team Vietnam, they have quite an aged lineup per se. Their oldest member is born in 1988. That is Khan. Itong si Khan or si Lekon Khan.
Yes.
Number 8, who's inside the court.
Yeah, so if you take a look at the lineup of Vietnam, parang kung titingnan mo, mas veteran sila in terms of age.
Yeah.
Kasi itong lineup ng Indonesia, they are parading a much younger lineup. Their youngest is 19. Ito nga si Agil, and then their eldest player naman is si Dimas. So medyo mas bata itong mga Indonesian players.
At yun nga, pag titingnan mo nga, if you're going to observe, that means they're probably starting to pass the torch already in the side of Indonesia. And that's what you have when you have these formidable programs. But when I check the World FIVB rankings, Vietnam currently is ranked at number 65 compared to Indonesia, who's ranked at 131. So there's a lot of things that, you know, it's not fully expressed by those rankings, especially the dominance of Indonesia in the SEA Games.
And maybe nagkakaroon din sila ng mga switching of players, so we can't really tell where they at now kasi dito pa lang natin malalaman in the SEA Games.
Yep, and you've mentioned it earlier, like even in the women's division, you were surprised that T4 is already here. But going back to our game, point goes to the side of Vietnam. Indonesia having trouble handling that ball in that last play as Vietnam continues to serve here. We have number 18 of Team Vietnam.
Yes, the middle blocker, Vu Ngao Huang.
Yep. Set up to the other side. They go to the open hit down the line. Does it work? It does.
It's a little
Does
long.
not. It's a little long.
Yeah, but if you take a look back at that set, napakaganda. It was a shoot set. However, that attack went a little long.
That was coming from Tamamilang. Seeing him at the screen right now as serve still goes to the side of Team Vietnam. Wong there getting an ace, or rather over serving that ball. Indonesia just behind by 2 points. It's now Raka serving. Hit there coming from Team Indonesia going Team Vietnam going cross court. Another point.
Great one-stop play by Vietnam. You know, they're really starting off strong here in this set. And if you take a look back at that play, napakaganda. Parang halos double quick na, pero open hitter yung pumalo dun sa attack na yun.
Now it's the team captain of Team Vietnam, Juan, serving. Juan serve, a bit too strong, sails out.
In the early part of this set, it has been an exchange of errors from both teams. Now, that's one interesting thing also to point out. We need to see who gets to minimize their errors in this game because, you know, they're actually equally strong teams. So, you know, minimizing your errors will be an advantage for both of the teams.
Would you say this is a moment of adjustment for them trying to find their groove here?
Siguro, kasi ano siya first game and first day natin dito sa SEA Games Volleyball. So I think early part of the set pa naman, nandiyan pa yung adjustment nila as well as in the court.
Yeah.
Kasi even though they got the chance to train there, hindi naman siya yung full training. Parang more of a workout lang.
Yep. And of course, you don't have the lights, the crowd right behind you. If you're looking at it, we have a really good crowd here inside the Phil Sports Arena as they go for an opposite hit on the side of Team Indonesia that is coming from number 12, Rivan.
That was a good rally from both teams. Alam mo, bihira lang tayo makakita ng mga rallies in the men's volleyball because usually it's one stop.
Yeah.
Given the athleticism of the players. Pero yung kanina, medyo nag-exchange of rallies.
Tamamilang serves, doesn't cross. So that gives a freebie to the side of Team Vietnam.
At the first technical timeout, the score is 8-5 of Vietnam with the lead.
Break. And we're back here
End of the first technical
the
timeout.
men's volleyball competition in the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Sinjin Reyes with Carmela Tunay. Looking back at some of the key plays that we had from that first gap, we saw a lot of action coming from Team Vietnam early scoring, but not right now. You're seeing Team Pilipinas right in front of us. We saw Marcus Peo, of course, Brian Bagunas. The whole squad was actually watching, scouting
ready.
early.
Zoning out na.
And syempre, kaabang-abang yung kanilang match right after this as we see that off-the-block kill coming from Team Indonesia's number 3, Sigit.
Alam mo, sa take-off niya pa lang, you would see the angle that Sigit wanted to take, and kahit off the block yan, ang layo ng tinalsik ng bola because he had too much power in that attack.
High flyer eh.
Yes.
As we go back to our ball game setup, they go back row. And scoring from the back row is none other than Rivan.
Yes, and he has been very effective in that opposite back row attack. And you can see the contact on that ball was high enough to, go above the blockers.
We saw that on that last replay as serve comes from Team Indonesia. Vietnam having a trouble handling that serve. Tumidikit na or nakadikit na ang Team Indonesia.
Yeah, it's good to see Indonesia making up for their service errors. They've made a couple earlier in this set.
It seems like they're in rekindled spirits here as the games continue.
We are tied at 8.
Setup coming from Vietnam. They go back row hit from the opposite side. That's number 14 of Team Vietnam.
Team captain. Yan, we can see an exchange of back row opposite attacks. Been effective for both squads.
So a lot of combinations we're starting to see. So it seems like our teams are starting to find their groove as Indonesia gets that. They go to a hit. The combination, patong play kung dito sa Pilipinas.
Ang ganda kasi pababa na yung blockers when the attacker hit that set.
That's the kind of quality plays that you'd be expecting when you are watching the SEA Games. The last sequence, some trouble on the side of Team Indonesia. Another freebie for Vietnam.
I think they've had 3 already na service error.
So things that they might have to start to work on because it seems to be symptomatic. They go up to the open hit coming from their opposite, Rivan.
Again, combination plays working well for Team Indonesia kasi yung mga open hits nila medyo naaabangan. So I think they really need to maintain their good passing for them to be able to come up with these kinds of plays.
And what's nice to see in that play, that was a short set.
Yes.
It wasn't that high, and it was kind of quick for an opposite hitter. So there's a lot of adjustment also. Parang running for the lefty na running. But right now, Vietnam still ahead by 1 point. And we have number 18 of Team Vietnam, Vu Doc Quang. Set up. They go to the opposite side. Denied there by Tama Milang.
I think that set, which was set by the middle blocker of Vietnam, it was a bit too high. And in men's volleyball, madaling bantayan yung mga medyo matataas na siniset. Kasi basta na nila eh. So parang yung anticipation nila on the attack, madali nilang nabablock as we saw in that last play.
You being a women's player, you notice that those small differences between the men's and the women's, and you've mentioned faster plays ang requirement dito. That's what we're trying to explain.
So women's kasi kahit mataas or may mga players na gusto nila mababa, pero even though you set the ball high, may mga parang placement shots lang na makakapatay. Dito sa men's, syempre iba rin yung agility nila, yung athleticism nila. So they're able to go to mga places na kahit i-placement shots mo, makukuha nila. So it's really about power. But pag nabantayan ka ng block, yun yung magiging problema. So kanila advantage talaga yung mga mabababang sets.
So those low fast sets ang binabanggit nitong si Mela. They set up to the open side. The cross court kill works again for Tama Milang. I've been mentioning his name consistently. It's no surprise.
He's feeling it in this game.
Showing a lot of heart, a lot of intensity.
And if you take a look at the score, hindi lumalayo itong yung scores ng dalawang teams.
Walang bumibitaw. Sabi nga ng iba nating mga kasama sa broadcast team. But that hit, he was quite under the ball there. Talking about Team Vietnam.
But there's a violation, I think, sa side ng Indonesia.
So that's a freebie. Parang yung coach ng Indonesia was signaling, slow down, just keep calm.
Personally, I think mas meron pang rivalry itong Vietnam and Indonesia as compared to any of both teams against Thailand. Kasi sila talaga yung nagpapalitan lang dun sa final slot every SEA Games against Thailand.
Yeah, but what's interesting though, Mela, is if you look at Team Indonesia, their history is quite heavy when it comes to men's volleyball. Parang legacy na ang tinatawag mo dyan. Consistently every year they did not miss a medal finish except in 2001.
And if we, take a look at the history of Vietnam naman, they are yet to win a gold medal dito sa SEA Games men's volleyball. So, ito nakikita natin talagang they're really taking this game seriously, and maybe they're really looking forward to get that first gold medal this year.
Though, if you look at the trend of this Vietnam squad, it seems like there's a sign that they're starting to beef up their lineup. They're starting to have that program as they go to a setup. They go back row, denied there by the blockers of Team Indonesia, Sigit and Yuda, if I'm not mistaken.
All eyes on the captain, 2-1, double block from Indonesia. Nabantayan ng mabuti yung atake na yun ni 2-1.
We saw our first referee, Pawagit from Thailand. Serve now, coming from Team Indonesia, picked up there by Vietnam. They go up to the open side. On the other side, picked up there by Yuda. They go to a back row hit, and a strong hit at that, coming from Rivan. That
At the
brings Team
second technical
Indonesia
timeout,
ahead
the
now
score is
by 2
16 to
points.
14 in favor of Indonesia.
Leading after that first set scrubble. So we'll see what happens when we return here on the SEA Games 2019. Back here inside the Phil Sports Arena, we saw some members of Team Thailand who just won earlier. Right now we have some fans from Team Indonesia, and this one we have other teams just observing early on because it's a heated matchup that we have here between Vietnam and Indonesia as Tamamilang catches up on that. Hinabol denied there by the middle blocker of Team Vietnam. That was Wang.
Yeah, great save there by Indonesia. However, nabantayan na mabuti ito ni Bu Nga Huang from Vietnam.
Right now we have the setter, Tan, serving. Picked up there by Indonesia. They go to a quick, nice pancake coming from Vietnam. Denied there was the hit from the open side. Indonesia getting back at point. Let's look at that again.
Using the hands of the blockers to swipe it off, swipe it out. Easy point
Easy
for
point for Vietnam, rather. Going straight to the antenna. Vietnam ties it easily after that technical timeout, Mela.
Timeout to Indonesia.
And speaking of timeouts, we're going to a timeout of Team Indonesia. And ito, unlike the games that we have, we don't get to hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
So, but I will ask you as the analyst, what can you say is the problem of Team Indonesia? Because they just rallied a lot of points. Nanguna sila 2 points ahead right before our second technical timeout. Tapos parang ito, hinabol sila ng Team Vietnam mabilis.
I think even when Indonesia got to the second technical timeout first, nagbigay din yun ng parang breather sa Team Vietnam. They were able to regroup and refocus, and they got 2 straight points from that timeout.
And that probably just gives an alarm to the head coach of Team Indonesia, talking about Coach Lee Chiu Tiang.
And you can see the respect also. Kahit 2 points lang yung hinabol ng Vietnam, nag-timeout na agad itong coach ng Indonesia.
Pero ito, mabilis bumawi ang Team Indonesia with that hit coming from Randu. Vietnam squad looking quite unhappy but dancing a bit on the sidelines.
Relax pa naman sila.
Stretching their joints probably. Serve coming from Indonesia. Ooh, miscommunication on the side of Vietnam.
No one from the Vietnam team got that ball over.
Tan was trying to go to Huang.
Yeah, there was a confusion on the side of Vietnam kasi medyo overball na yung reception. So hinabol lang nitong setter. But apparently wala nakapag-over nun.
Masasabi mo may pagkabukad din eh.
Oo. Hinabol lang eh. But ito may bawi agad. Team captain, number 14, 2-1. Facing right, hitting left. Great angle there. An off-the-block hit.
You'd be impressed, no? His body language seemed like he was going cross-court.
Yeah.
And then he suddenly kumapik eh. Pupunta sa down the line.
And nakita niya rin kasi na single block lang. So he took advantage of that.
Another over ball coming from Team Vietnam. That's a freebie for Indonesia. Indonesia back to a 2-point advantage. See their captain of Team Vietnam, Juan, on your screens?
So far in this game, Vietnam has been banking on their attacks. Wala pa tayo masyado nakikitang blocks from them. Pero ito namang Indonesia, more on mga blocks and check, tapos dun sila counter attack.
So yun yung mga key factors towards what's happening in our scoreboard as we see this pancake save coming from the libero of
Timeout, Vietnam.
Indonesia, Rakha. And that last play just leads to this Vietnamese timeout because Indonesia bumawi agad.
Oo.
And umangat agad ng 2 points. Mela, so far, what were the changes after the timeout of Coach Lee Tio Tiang of Team Indonesia?
Well, obviously, after that timeout, medyo mas nagising lang talaga sila. They were able to pass better. Kaya yung mga setups nila has been very efficient for them the last 2 points.
As we see
Staff natin.
yung mga kababayan natin, our brave
Games.
and helpful volunteers. SEA Games, maraming salamat at mabuhay po kayo sa pagsuporta sa amin at sa ating lahat as we host the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Serve there, doesn't cross for Sigit of Indonesia.
That timeout worked well for the coach of Vietnam, breaking the
Substitution
momentum
for
of
Vietnam.
Indonesia.
Number 18 out, number 9, Nguyen Van Hook in.
So there's a substitution on the side of Team Vietnam. They're putting in a Hook, number 9, to serve. So Nguyen Van Hook, number 9, serve. Set up there. They go to the open side to Tamalilang going off the block. Point goes to side of Team Indonesia.
Tamamila really making some noise here in this game. Siya rin talaga yung momentum breaker ng Vietnam. When they need a point, they go to Tamamilang.
And it seems like he is the go-to player. So let's see how the game progresses as that serve comes from Randu. Tip there coming from Team Vietnam. That works for Thieu. Or rather, that doesn't work for Thieu because it sails wide. There's too much space on that hit.
Parang nagkalituhan din sila on that setup. I don't know if that was really meant for him, pero pumasok din kasi ng second tempo yung open hitter ng Vietnam.
Those are the things that they have to be conscious of, especially if you're facing an Indonesian team that seems to be fired up right now. Vietnam behind by 3 points as number 8, Khan, serves, or rather number 14, Dikan pa.
Buti nahabol sa 8 seconds.
Set up there, they go to the open side, another point for Tamamilang.
Again, so far for Indonesia, yung mga open hits nila have been always angled to the cross-court side. So far, wala pa tayong nakikitang down the line. So, I think Vietnam has to adjust. They need to really anticipate balls going majority doon sa side ng cross-court.
So far, we've been noticing it's going towards zone 1, right?
Zone 5.
And zone 1. Kasi pag yung opposite naman. So they're really going for those corners.
Oo, baka narinig ako ni Sigit kasi kanina sabi ko puro cross-court. Eto naman din down the line niya.
Variation.
Yeah, however, outside yung atake niya na yun.
Substitution for Vietnam. Number 2 out, number 10, Ding Van Tu in.
So Vietnam starting to find some changes here, trying to find their group.
The setter.
Because it's a 3-point lead for Team Indonesia now.
Again, the backline attack for Indonesia from that opposite side have been working wonders for their team. Ang taas din talaga kasi ng contact nitong ni Rivan. He can bring it on to any angle, kaya nahihirapan din talaga yung defenders to guard his attack.
It's quite a high leaper there.
Tsaka yung contact mataas.
The reach of Rivan, looking at our statistics here.
Again, same attack for Tran Chu. Same result outside din.
Indonesia takes set number 1, 25-20.
That's yield set for Indonesia.
It's a 342 for Rivan, and we'll go to a timeout. Wang, of course.
We're still looking at the same faces for both teams. Their coaches sticking up with their lineups from the first set going to the second set.
And it seems like if you're looking at these two squads, it's really about a lot of creativity when it comes to the plays, and that would depend on their setters. As we saw, Vietnam starting it off early with a hit from their captain.
Again, the team captain of Vietnam, 2-1 rallying his team, at makikita natin yung kaninang ginawa niya na looking right and then hitting left has been very effective for him. Yun na naman yung ginawa niya to get the first point for his team.
Jump serve there coming from Team Vietnam, trying to answer back, and successfully doing so is Indonesia's Randu.
Ito yung sinasabi natin na hindi natin nakikita sa Vietnam na kanina pa ginagawa ng Indonesia, these combination plays, and they really are utilizing their middle blockers sa atake. So, ngayon, kanina pala nung first set, hindi rin natin nakita yung effective plays. Ayan, puro outside yung nagiging attacks ng mga middles ng Vietnam. So, they have to adjust their angles, and you wanna see it here in the second set.
Would you say that Team Indonesia's block is pressed too hardly on the side of Vietnam, that they have to be they're trying to be creative with their hits?
Well, definitely the blocking of Indonesia has been intimidating for Vietnam because nakikita nga natin kanina pa outside, kahit maganda yung setup, outside, oo. So, definitely na-intimidate din yung mga attackers nitong Vietnam.
As we look at this replay, setup job coming from Vietnam stand, going to that back set, Manapilita Corrales, yung pagbali ng likod.
Opposite setting. Kung nasan yung receive na side, babato mo sa kabila.
And great point there. Yan din yung nakakalito minsan, no? When you're on the other side of the court, when you have a setter who's really good with opposite setting.
Kasi definitely may blocker na maliliit eh. Sobrang, in a way, nakaka-pressure lang din sa attacker. Kasi pag single block na, tapos like nangyari dito kay 2-1 kanina, not over yung palo niya.
And now, Vietnam starting it off hot with some attack points, as Indonesia will try to answer back, and they do with Tamamilang.
And that was a great anticipation by the blocker of Vietnam, 2-1. Pero the attack of Tamamilang was too strong. So, nakabuka yung block nitong ni 2-1 kahit nakatapat na siya doon. Kaya lumusot yung
There's that
atake.
space that you're mentioning, no? They're in front of the blockers. Great serve there coming from Indonesia. They go to the open side on the side of Vietnam.
Good coverage by the libero.
From Hook. So ito yung interesting change, no? Earlier, Hawk was inserted to serve for their middle blocker, Wang. But right now, he's playing the open hitter. So there's these adjustments that are starting early for these two squads, as we see the team captain of Team Indonesia, Nizar. Set up there. They go to Tamamilang. Tamamilang denied by the double block.
Ayan, at this time, medyo nababantayan na. Double block on Tamamilang, especially because he has been the name been hearing all throughout the first set.
Yeah. I can't count anymore how many times I've mentioned his name. And don't you like the celebration of Team Vietnam? It just reminds you of how we Filipinos also celebrate after a point. May takbo eh. But Vietnam's serve goes outside again. Those are some things that you've mentioned earlier na dapat nilang bantayan.
Mahirap din kasi yung ginagawa nila na jump serve, the spin. You really have to make sure that you serve it long para pumasok. Pero sometimes the tendency is you serve it too long.
Now Rivan of Team Indonesia will serve. That is too low and goes straight to the net.
So dalawang service errors from two jump servers na spin. Yung kanina too long, and then this one naman, the one I'm pointing out, is kailangan you make sure na long mo siya, is to serve para umover. Kaya kapag medyo what we call it, baon, it doesn't go over the net.
Because there's that giggle factor na gusto mong baonin patusok. Patusok na jump.
And another one from Lok. Long naman.
Yeah, because when we talk about jump serves, di ba, syempre, there's a lot of calculation there na pinapractice mo. Ikaw, I've seen you probably a very few times trying to do it.
In my second year, required kami before. And it was really challenging kasi nakakapagod, especially when you do it heavy tayo na magsiserve ka. Tapos yung ball control pa. So kailangan talaga yung ball control when you do jump serves. It's really, it's crucial.
And speaking of the ball, they're currently using the newest FIVB
Oo nga eh.
ball. And I've heard from some sources, magaan nga daw, magaan. And you yourself, you've mentioned this to me earlier, no, na hawakan mo siya, it's a bit lighter. So probably, if they're not used to using it yet, then that's part of the adjustments. As Vietnam gets one over Indonesia, 7-6.
This was actually the same story as the first set. Vietnam leading and then nagkaroon lang ng streak of points ito Indonesia. That's why they were able to go to the technical timeout.
So we now see Vietnam's number 5-2 serving. Picked up there by the libero. They go to a quick, trying to adjust there. Let's see. But the point is awarded to the side of Team Vietnam. Vietnam goes into our
the set's
first technical timeout.
The score is 8-6.
They're up by 2
Vietnam with the
over
lead.
Indonesia. Don't go away. We'll be back after the short break. Back here in the coverage of the 30th Southeast Asian Games. We have some members of the Indonesian delegation cheering up their squad, but of course we also have our kababayans and kapamilyas inside the court, of course preparing for the upcoming match of Team Pilipinas after this, going up against Cambodia. But we continue our ball game here as they go to Team Indonesia's number 12 Rivan with a back row attack.
Again, kanina si Tamamilang itong tuloy-tuloy umaatake and we haven't seen that opposite back row attack in a while. And again, ginawa na naman ito nitong ni Zar.
Serve and a hit there coming from the captain of Team Vietnam, or rather their middle blocker, Huang. That tip, the soft tip, but it's very effective.
Kanina, they tried it twice, although it sailed out. Pero ngayon, we've seen, I think, 2 points from their middle attacks. And that's good. That's the adjustment that they had to make coming in the second set.
Vietnam now serves. They go up to the open side for Team Indonesia. That was Sigit.
Combination attack again from the Team Indonesia. And we can see here, itong Vietnam, they attempted a triple block. Nagpatong na yung dalawa, yung open hitter at yung middle blocker. But then again, Tamamilang too strong on that attack.
That was a great combination for Indonesia. On the other side, they go to number 12, Rivan, who scores. Now it's Rivan who's making some noise for Team Indonesia.
Like we said kanina nga, na-notice natin na babantayan na si Tamamilang. Now Rivan stepping up to get some load off Tamamilang. And to note naman sa Vietnam, we've seen a running attack. The first time we saw in this game from their team. So ngayon kailangan na talaga nilang i-utilize yung mga iba pa nilang plays.
As Vietnam hits the cross court on the other side, Indonesia answers with an over ball that sails out for number 3. No check for Sigit.
But he's like requesting the coach to make a challenge. Let's see if the coach complies.
There's a challenge on the call by Indonesia.
There is a challenge.
Block touch.
First challenge in this match.
Let's wait as to what. But from our angle, does it feel like there is a touch?
It's hard to tell kasi ang taas talaga ng dinanong bola. So sometimes it's just a matter of konting galaw ng daliri, which is, you know, hard to tell from our angle.
Those split-second movements at our challenge call. Oo. Malay mo, di ba? Any touch of the ball. Plus, mas magaan yung bola. So there's a lot of factors, a lot of physics involved probably.
Pero since Ardian insisted, maybe he heard
or he
block
saw,
touch.
Diba? Sometimes you would trust the point of view of your player.
Kasi kapag nag-iba yung tunog, alam na yan ng player.
Kasi minsan, hindi lagi sa direction. Well, in the men's division, they always say, pag nag-iba yung direction ng bola, may touch yan. Pero, we'll never know. Those milliseconds, milli-moments that we don't get to catch on cam.
One of the things I learned dito sa, ayan, let's see muna kung block touch ba.
Let's look at the video challenge here. Our board. Zooming in. Oh, meron.
Ito yung sasabi natin, yung konting galaw lang ng daliri, di ba? Pero kung kanina sa play, it was hard for us to tell because the clearance of the ball was really way up. But thanks to our challenge system, diba? Nakuha ng Indonesia yung point na yun.
So, saktong-sakto ang pagtawag doon ng challenge. As play continues, point going to Team Indonesia. Ito, no unsure moments there. Vietnam.
It's really overwhelming to see the respect of Indonesia to the team captain of Vietnam 2-1 dahil doon sa atake na yon naka-triple block sila sa kanya, especially because he's been the one really making the damage for Vietnam.
Now we're tied at 10 for these two squads. Serve coming from Vietnam. Indonesia answers back with Sigit.
I don't know if that was, you know, the hang time of Sigit, kaya walang na-touch yung mga blockers niya.
I think we should also credit it to the set. It was a bit
opposite
fast.
set.
Opposite set na mabilis.
Kasi kanina nung hindi slow-mo, we could see na sabay umangat yung blocker and si Rigit, pero lumusot din because of the angle as well as the hang time.
Let's see how Indonesia tries to continue this. They go cross court, but that is out. Vietnam gets a freebie there, tied at 11.
Again, that was a great set by the setter of Indonesia, si Nizar. Kanina niya pa pinupuntirya yung opposite side nila because it has been effective for them. However, yung error na yun, parang iba lang yung tunog, parang hindi tumama sa kamay talaga ng attacker.
And we continue our ball game. Serve there coming from Team Vietnam. Indonesia goes to the opposite side and gets a score coming from Rivan.
Bumawi itong si Rivan after his error on the same side, on the same set. And again, talagang minamaximize
Substitution
nito
for
ni Nizar
Indonesia.
yung
Number 9 out,
nagiging
number
strength ng
10
team nila so far in this set.
So number 9 goes out. Yuda goes out there. And entrance of a new player, number 10, that is Zulfi. Back here, Tamaminang, who was quiet in the second set, made some noise with that cross-court kill.
And he manages to pull off a through the block hit kahit ayan nakatapat na sa setter. I mean sa blocker nitong Vietnam. Ano kayang winning weights nito ni Tamamila?
Feeling ko pag training baka sobrang bigat ng kinakabit niya mga weights, you know?
Kasi we can see kanina nga, di ba natumba pa yung blocker nitong Vietnam on his strong attack. And now it has been a 1-2 punch for Rival and Tamamilang for Indonesia.
Timeout,
That has been the
Vietnam.
story of this set.
And right now we go to a timeout on the side of Team Vietnam because Indonesia is trailing away with a 3-point advantage, and we're seeing how the Vietnamese are trying to find their groove here in the second set compared to the first set. It's a stark difference as to how they're performing. And what else have you noticed here in the performance of Team Vietnam, Mela?
Well, kanina nung dumidikit na, we've seen them do attempts on more middle attacks as compared to their open sets. Pero ngayon medyo nawawala na naman, maybe because of the reception. Medyo they really need to bank on the receptions kasi like we saw earlier parts in this set, effective naman when they set up their middles. So they just have to really maximize them as well. Kasi bantay sarado rin talaga yung mga ano nila, open and opposite attacks.
As game continues, we had Randu there on the serve. On the other side, they set up an opposite hit. Kukunin at susungkatin. Cross court, galing sa open side. But it's too strong. That sails out for number 9 of Team Vietnam.
Again, the open hitters of Vietnam seem a little bothered because they have been checked and blocked in this game. So, nagre-result na siya sa errors on the side of Vietnam attackers. Again, misreception again. Naitawid pa rin ng team captain, and he managed to get a block from that rally.
So, Vietnam trying to find some life here.
Substitution for Vietnam. Number 2 out, number 10, Ding Van Thuyen.
Now, this was a familiar substitution that we noticed in the first set, yung pagpapalit
Ng
ng setters coming from, of course, their setter who's number 2, Tan.
again, yung decision making kasi medyo hasn't been effective for Vietnam. Kaya baka nagpapalit
At the
na si coach ng
second
setters.
technical timeout, the score
That's
is
something that they're going to work
16-12
out
in
because
favor of
Indonesia is now
Indonesia.
in a 4-point advantage. We have members of our fans being flashed here, of course. Nagpapass on na ng paraphernalia for latest game. So
Ready na to cheer their lungs out for the Philippines.
Hindi na nga hearts eh, lungs na
lungs
talaga.
na. For sure, magsisigawan yan lahat mamaya.
I'm pretty much excited as to how Filipinos will bring in the cheerful vibe that we have in our volleyball games inside the SEA Games as well. Syempre, kaabang-abang yung mga the really cute things that our fans do. But ito, there's nothing cute about that. It's all just smarts and power.
And again, only the bright spot for Vietnam has been their captain, 2-1. Kahit nasa back row siya, siya na rin talaga yung pinupuntahan ng setters.
Well, 2-1 has been a name that we've been mentioning since set number 1. Not as much as Tamamilang in the first set, but still, he's been the lifeblood of this Vietnam squad. Vietnam gets a freebie from Indonesia.
And we saw from that last rally, Vietnam attempted to set up middle again. Pero we haven't seen really the middle attackers na ina-attack yung bola talaga. We haven't seen them spike it.
Yeah.
So far, it has been drop balls from them.
Soft touches.
Oo, kaya nakukuha rin talaga ng defense ng Indonesia.
And that is a stark difference to the side of Team Indonesia because we notice stronger hits from Team Indonesia. We just saw number 10 of Team Indonesia, si Zilfi, na kanina pa nag-iingay din. As serve comes from Indonesia. They go to a running hit. At
There you go.
yun, that changes the tempo a bit for two.
When they spike it, talagang mataas yung chance na makakuha ng score. Kasi kanina puro drops na nadidepensahan. Pero ito, great angle. It was a single block. And finally, the substitution of the coach of Vietnam working well for them. Kasi ito, nag-iiba na yung tempo ng laro ng Vietnam so far.
Sigit gets a hit from the open side.
Yeah, again, a one-stop rally from Indonesia. Ang hirap din bantayan kasi when Vietnam focuses on a certain player, the setter of Indonesia goes to another. Parang kanina Tamamilang, sunod-sunod Tamamilang, and then sunod-sunod Rivan.
That's the advantage of having your team captain like Nizar.
As a setter.
Yeah, as the setter, and he's quite young. He's 25 years old, or turning 25 soon.
Yeah, she took...
Next week.
Oh, wow. Dito siya magsi-celebrate sa Philippines.
Yep, December 9, so exactly a week from now.
It's probably the finals because the semifinals on December 8.
And we don't know if they'll be there, who's gonna be there yet, because it's still the first day of our competition.
It's a long way to go.
There's a lot of things and a lot of action that the SEA Games is offering here, and men's volleyball is just one of the really lucky sports that we get to see on TV.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, we have other games also being shown on our other platforms. We have weightlifting and gymnastics also here in our set today. But looking at scoreboard, Indonesia just feeling some life from Rivan. So it's just a 1-2 punch from Indonesia so far. Rivan or Tamamilang.
Yes. And pag nakakadikit, kanina nakadikit na 1-point disparity na lang. Pero ito, pagdating talaga ng endgame, doon
bumibitaw.
Oo, nagpo-pull away itong Indonesia. Because this has been the same story, like I said, in the first set. Pero sa dulo talaga, lumalabas yung mga veteran savvy nitong mga Indonesia players.
At alam mo kung ano nakakatakot? They're not, Vietnam is the older team if you look at it average. But Indonesia is playing so fluid. Just like in that last play, we saw those strong blocks. Yung combination play ng Vietnam na bantayan din.
Maybe yung grassroots ng Indonesia maganda rin talaga. That's why they are very confident in fielding in young players in a very prestigious league such as the SEA Games.
Yep, and if we actually look at the lineup, all these players are also club team members. So, talagang batak sa laro.
Yes.
And if we go internationally nga, di ba, they say it's really the men's division. It's quite popular compared to our
Women.
situation.
Yeah. But we're going there.
We're going there, yeah. When you have Brian Bagunas, when you have Mark Espejo, when you have Rana Nabdilia.
And we have a couple of players being recognized internationally as well.
Of course, the two names that I've mentioned earlier, they played abroad, but right now, it's been exchanges of points for these two squads in the second set. If you just joined us here, first set was a similar story, but let's see if Vietnam will change things up with their 2-point disadvantage. Let's see if they can catch up, but Indonesia just unstoppable with that last play. Let's look at that again. Nizar going up to that back row.
And ito nga si Ardian, number 3 from Indonesia, has been joining the scoring of Nizar, of Tamamilang rather, and Rivan. So it's really the wing hitters that's doing the damage for Indonesia. And ito naman on that last play, finally they got another point in that middle area from that middle attack.
For Indonesia.
Dito sa
number 1
Vietnam.
out and number 17, Donnie Haryono in.
Okay, so we've heard that
Timeout,
Tamamilang
Indonesia.
has been brought out, and entrance of Haryono. So
Yan siya yung pinakabata that I was telling about, Haryono Aguil.
So he was born in 2000, so he's just 19 years old, but he's already part of this national team lineup now. Indonesia just needs 3 points to close this out. So could this be a substitution for experience, for quality minutes inside the court?
Yeah, and it's parang nakaka-curious din malaman why the coach of Indonesia is confident to sub in yung youngest player nila doon sa highest pointer nila so far in this game. So let's see how Agil will perform in this second set.
Yep, but right now we see the members of Team Philippines, Ish Pulverosa, Kim Malabunga, Mark Espejo.
Mga naka-earphones, naka-airpods lahat. Nagana na sila. Focus.
Busy, ah.
Pre-game.
Nagka-tape na, nakahanda na sa gilid. As Indonesia continues to score from their opposite side with Revan.
And ito medyo nakaka-check na yung Vietnam. One of the few times that we see them get to check the attacks
Timeout,
of
Vietnam.
Indonesia. Pero again, Indonesia too strong.
And just another indication that Indonesia is too strong. Just a 1-point change. Pinalitan na agad. Or rather, tinime-outan na agad ng coach ng Vietnam ang kanyang koponan.
Because this score isn't impossible to, you know, turn around. Kayang-kaya pa yan. So, you know, timeouts are very crucial also for coaches at this point of the game. And it's not always a battle between the players. Sometimes yung mga coaches timeout talaga, napakalaking impact, especially sa mga moments like the end game.
Yan yung mga sinasabing pagpihet, those last-minute tweaks, the last-minute changes. These could be crucial. Some players would even say that, coaches' timeouts should be timed properly. Because it's a strategy. It's not just something that
make or break din yun sa ano
kung
sa
kailan mo
team niya.
pinapasok.
Like that, a very effective timeout by the coach of Vietnam.
Momentum breaker.
Oo, nag-error itong Indonesia coming off from that timeout. Yung mga coaches namin before, may rules sila na sinasabi na parang hindi mo dapat itodo yung serve sa, not really na parang hinaan, but parang control it first kapag first serve mo sa game, kapag after timeout. So those two situations. And then kapag pangalawang serve mo na, doon mo na siya parang lalaksan talaga. So, it often happens kapag galing timeout na nag-error.
Probably may adrenaline kasi na-excited na bumalik sa laro. But right now, Indonesia, set point advantage. Revan has been the name of the household in this second set. But there, you've mentioned it, the jump serve difficulties for Team Indonesia as we saw Haryano, Donnie.
Probably jitters as well from the youngest player, Agil. The service error.
They go up to the opposite side still, and Rivan connects and gets that last point.
Indonesia with set
Indonesia
number 2,
getting a
25 to
2-set
22.
advantage.
They lead this match
Rivan
2 sets to
going
none.
cross court on that last play and finding right spot there for Team Indonesia. Indonesia leads 2
Ladies
sets
and
to
gentlemen.
1 and the youngest player that they have.
But
inside
we
the
are
court.
yet to see any parang something special kanina dahil siguro jitters pa nga. But ito naman sa side ng Vietnam, again, it's still 2-1. The captain doing the damage for his team. Wala pa siya masyadong nakakatulong since.
So, kaabang-abang kung may changes ba ang ipapasok dito ang coach ng Team Vietnam. But so far, Indonesia draws first blood.
We notice a new player in the lineup for Vietnam, number 11, Tran Duc Hang.
So, Vietnam trying to change things over as Indonesia tries to keep on scoring. As we look at this last play, that hit goes straight to the antenna. Point goes to Indonesia. Indonesia now up by 2-0.
So we saw that error from 2-1 earlier. Nakita natin na pati siya medyo na iilang na rin sa blockers ng Indonesia.
And we're seeing right now number 11 for Team Vietnam. Another change that we're noticing here is the entrance of Tran Duc Han. Who's just served open side for Team Indonesia. Rivan gets the point.
Again, Rivan continues to shine here for Indonesia, and it's very interesting to see na he also does quick attacks. Hindi siya super quick, but that was a very low set for a wing attacker like him.
Actually, that's what you'd notice with this Indonesia squad. They're very versatile on the side of Team Indonesia. Speaking of quick hits,
Ayan na, at least.
nabubuhayan ng konti itong Team Vietnam with that hit coming from number 18, Huang.
Gonna have to utilize those kinds of sets and attacks more often here in the third set if they want to stay close and seal this win on the third set.
Wong Hoc Vu for that serve. They go to the swipe there on the side of Team Indonesia. Trying to deny Indonesia. Trying to block there, but that is overcooked on the side of Team Vietnam. So Team Indonesia has also injected in, has kept Haryono. Oh, that goes in.
That was it.
I saw an early celebration there on the side of Indonesia.
Wala nag-challenge eh. Great pass.
They go to that Haryono. We're talking about Donnie Haryono.
Kaya pala.
Yan.
Kaya pala confident si coach na i-feel din itong si Haryono. Dahil ito unang atake niya in this game and makes an impact for his team already.
As you now see Puturandu on the service line. On the other side, one-handed set to a swipe on the quick. Works for Team Vietnam to the disappointment of Indonesia's number 12, Rivan. Natawa na lang siya yung konting ngisi after that. So, it's a very faster pace here that we're feeling, Mela.
Oo nga, and you can see how close the scores are always kapag umpisa ng set.
So the question is, it's about the end game, and you've been mentioning that since a while back as to how these teams would be playing their end game.
And you probably want to see the maturity of Vietnam because they really have what it takes, you know, to win a set, to win a game. But so far, we haven't seen them close a set, and that's probably due to their lack of composure or maturity, in a way.
That was almost a regalo.
There is a challenge on the play by Indonesia.
Indonesia will
Block
be
touch.
challenging it. Sigurado. Si Donnie Haryono na may touch. Nakita ko yung pag-simbolo niya sa kanyang coach. There's a check ball as Haryono is chatting it up with his teammate Sigit. Let's see if there is a block touch in this challenge.
Meron. Nagwawag yung point finger.
Sigurado doon si Hariona. No?
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge was successful.
Successful for Team Indonesia.
2 successful challenges for Team Indonesia in this game.
As we still have Rivan Nurmulki serving for Indonesia, their opposite hitter. Strong, sharper jump serve pair. So maganagat Sintiu of Team Vietnam with that running hit. Let's see if they do get the point.
That's probably their 3rd running attack, and it has been effective for Vietnam.
But
There's a
this
net
time,
touch.
there's a net touch on that play. So been awarded to the side of Team Indonesia. This inflates to a 3-point lead for Indonesia. The boys in blue, in red. The boys in blue are having some trouble here.
But that service error cheers up Team Vietnam. Nakita natin, umikot sila. They really have to enjoy this game if they want to bring out their best game then.
You know, that's what I noticed in the second set. Vietnam was a bit more heavy. Yeah, there's like the tension inside the court.
Even when the game and the scores are close, parang hindi sila nag-enjoy as much as Indonesia is enjoying this game.
Now, they are just down by 1 point as we see Van Tien Duong on the service line. Serve from Van Tien Duong. But it is easily brought
At
back
the
to the
set's
side
first technical timeout, the score is 8-6. Indonesia with a
Now
lead.
have a technical timeout. Don't go away. We'll be back after a short break here at the 30th Southeast Asian Games.
End of the first
We're seeing
technical
our
timeout.
Capamillas inside the court. Really excited for the Team Pilipinas match and enjoying this match between Vietnam and Indonesia. We have, of course, members of Team Pilipinas present inside the court. Now, it's so interesting, quickly, Mela, let's talk about the changes inside the Phil Sports Arena. It looks so different after the
Yes.
renovation.
It was my first time to, get inside yesterday, and I was like in a different place talaga.
Yeah, it looks world-class, definitely.
Yeah.
I can't help but stare
Yeah.
at the facility as well. But back to our ball game, it's just a 1-point disadvantage for Vietnam as they go for that jump float picked up there. They go to that open tip coming from Sigit. On the other side, puputan it quick, but the point goes to the side of the Indonesians.
Vietnam players, signaling their coach to make a challenge. But
Let's see.
the coach
Will they?
did not respond.
Yeah, no challenge there from Team Indonesia as we now have number 10 Zulfi, or her Hemanda Zulfi.
Vietnam staying close in this set. We've seen another back row attack from their captain, 2-1. And before that, the score that they got was a combination play from the back row sa middle naman. So, the back row attacks have been the ones gathering the score for Vietnam kasi yung mga front row attacks nila nabablock nitong Indonesia.
As we continue our ball game, back row attack from Rivan Nurmulki rather.
Rivan's percentage in that opposite back row attack has really been high all throughout this game. Never pa yata siyang na-check ng mga blockers dun sa kanyang back row attack.
In the second and third set, it's just his name that we've been mentioning. So far, 2-point advantage for Indonesia, trims down to 1 after that hit is too strong for Sigit.
It was a hard angle for Sigit kasi medyo wide yung set tapos nakahiga na siya, so it was hard for him to keep the ball down, and that attack went wide.
They go to a jump serve on the side of Vietnam. They go up to the open side. What a hit there coming from Rivan Nurmulki.
That attack dropped on the first line. As we take a look at this replay, Look at the leap and the contact on that ball. It was really high, and although na-check yun, it was still too high and too strong for Vietnam to handle.
Just wow, Mela. What a hit there. But Vietnam answering back off the block.
Didn't go over.
It didn't go in. Rather, it was too low.
Yeah, Vietnam looking a bit frustrated in this match already. They don't know how to, generate points. They've tried everything. Sometimes it works for them, pero they can't make a streak of points to stay close to Indonesia.
But what seems to be very interesting is Indonesia the game is just growing and growing. It's just becoming faster and faster as time goes by. As the sets go by, they seem more ferocious every minute, and that play is just a sign of what they could do. Rando just scoring it.
Indonesia looking very confident. The setter going to everyone he could,
Timeout, Vietnam.
Really utilizing everyone.
We've seen a lot of names shine for the Team Indonesia.
Yeah, you're talking about their team captain, Nizar. But here is a timeout for Team Vietnam because this has inflated to a 5-point advantage, which might just be their biggest lead so far, especially at the early part of a set.
They need a leader other than Tu Tuan in Vietnam to just carry the team.
Yes.
Because in Indonesia, we've seen a lot of names. We have Rivan, Tamamilang, Zulfi even joining the scoring. Pero ito talaga si Nizar yung nagdadala ng game, and as a captain, you're expected to boost the confidence of your players, but as a setter as well, he's doing a good job giving the confidence that his spikers need.
I was going to mention that earlier we saw some moments that Tiu will have those running attacks and it would be effective, but right now it's just been very simple plays for the side of Team Vietnam. Nothing too complicated, but maybe they have to go back to their foundations. That's what they're trying to do.
Back to basic nga sabi. Kasi kahit yung basic hasn't been really working for them.
Interesting.
And, ito sayang yung block nila. We're able to check that, pero it went all the way out.
You know what's also confusing, I've noticed, with the setter of Indonesia, Nizar? May ipit. Yung papunta na sa buhat, pero hindi pa siya buhat. Saktong ipit lang eh. And if you look at the way he sets, there's really that delay that really can confuse the blockers.
Substitution for Vietnam. Number 5 out, number 12, Muina Ding Yu In.
All they have to worry about is how to attack that ball. They don't have to worry about the blockers because definitely when Nizar sets them up, may nalilate talaga na blocker.
And right now, number 12, Nguyen Din Nu is put in.
Again, another great angle by Rivan. Kanina, yung mga opposite back row attacks niya has all been going to the cross court. Pero ito, yung kanyang front attack went down the line and it was a check ball in the hands of the blockers.
As Vietnam goes up to that opposite hit, and it is effective for Tu Tuan, who has been quite quiet here.
Sabi ni Tu Tuan, kaya niya rin daw yung ginawa nitong ni Rivan. He did the exact same thing. Opposite set going down the line.
Coach of Vietnam looking quite unhappy there. We're talking about Zhao Xuan Chung.
Again, the combination plays.
At the
Indonesia has really been a
technical
problem for
timeout,
Vietnam. They're yet
16
to
to
find a
11 in
solution
favor of
for the
Indonesia.
attacks of Indonesia, kahit sa net defense or sa floor defense.
End of the second technical timeout.
Match continues here inside the Phil Sports Arena. We're seeing some members, and I'm guessing they're from the National University, supporting some of the members of the national team who are also proud Nationalians. Siyempre.
I'm sure hindi lang yung Philippines yung sinusupport nila dahil for sure, idol din nila ito yung mga pinapanood nila. Oo.
Siyempre.
They're national idols.
Tayo nga eh. Idol natin yung mga yan. Pero ikaw, idol ka naman ng lahat, Mele.
Okay, back to the game.
Back to the game tayo. As ball game continues here. We have a hit there.
Indonesia starting to pull away in this match, and nakikita natin all their attacks are extra strong. The angles are really, very good from the attackers. Talagang Indonesia is feeling this game.
Haryono's serve goes straight to the net. It's Donny Haryono, their youngest member, who has been introducing himself here. And this third set, it is a 4-point lead for Team Indonesia as Vietnam serves. They go up, back row for Ivan. That is going out. The block is going out, rather.
Makita mo yung attack na yun from Rivan. Tinasil yung kamay niya, and then it was all wrist action. Pero still, nakikita natin yung smarts because he really swiped it off the hands of the blockers.
And you know, the angle, the trajectory of the ball was going straight to the tip of the hand. So, you know, hindi makaka-press talaga itong Vietnamese players as Vietnam finds a campfire hole in the middle.
The first time in this match that the setter decided to drop the ball on a second touch.
Well, it's crucial moments for Team Vietnam now, Mela, if they want to proceed and try to extend this. But so far, Indonesia having that 4-point lead, the comfortable distance as they make it back to 5.
Again, Rivan has been unstoppable all throughout this match. We haven't heard other names so far doing the damage for their team. Rivan really the one stepping up.
If there's someone supporting, it's their youngest member, Haryono, but mostly it has been Rivan Nurmulki as Vietnam gets the point back on the side of their court from Tien.
Well, in the first set, it was Tamamilang versus Tutuan, and in the second and the third set, it has been a battle between Rivan and Tutuan.
So it's really the support of the other members of Team Vietnam that you're looking for here, Mela.
You know, the attacks of Tutuan, they're all really so strong, pero not enough to stop the momentum that Indonesia has been making.
Well, it's hard if you're battling it alone and then you have members on the other side of the team who's fully
collective effort. Ang hirap kasi ng 4 points is to 1. Oo, mahirapan.
And it's not that we're taking anything away from the members of the Vietnamese squad. It's just that they seem to be not in check here in this match because Indonesia has been firing and powering through, especially Rivan.
I mean, we've seen some glimpse from the other players of Vietnam, but it is really Tutuan who's been scoring after the series of points that Indonesia has been making.
Yeah, like I would recall the running hits from Tiu. So there's those glimpse of excitement for the side of the Vietnamese squad, but that's the problem. They also give away too much freebies as Indonesia gets a 3-point lead again. We now have Sigit on the side of Team Indonesia. Serving. Straight to the libero. They go to a quick on the side of Vietnam. Answered back by Indonesia. Sasagot si Rivan. Rivan gets a point off the block. Let's look at that again. Perfect setup from Nizar connecting to another senior member, Rivan.
Substitution for Vietnam.
Again,
Number 18
we have
out.
to commend the setter of
Number
Indonesia,
6,
Nizar.
Heng Hai In.
So setting up Rivan, those excellent sets. Nakita natin yung middle blocker ng Vietnam was already laid on that block.
Set up there, going to the opposite side. For
Again,
Team Vietnam.
like I mentioned, it has been 2-1. You know, stopping the scoring of Indonesia.
Tu Tan Tuan doesn't get that across. That gets that across and finds that perfect spot.
Grabe yung angle switch.
Yeah.
Nakita mo yung ano ng shoulder niya?
Iniwas niya.
Masakit yun.
Bali eh. Bali.
Oo. Well, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of ball control to do those kinds of attacks.
Pero ito.
Again, look at the body language of Vietnam. Every after nagpo-point to Indonesia, they look really down.
And Indonesia just keeps on powering through everything. They just demolish any obstacle that they have in front of them. As we saw Tony Haryono again scoring. Tony Haryono who replaced Tama Milang in the latter part of the second set.
Definitely, it just gets better and better for Vietnam, for Indonesia rather.
So there's that confidence that their coach is giving to them, no?
Ito, nakita mo yung atake ni Rivan again. Parang nadepensahan siya ng Vietnam. Parang nispin niya lang yun going to the other side of the court. But still, he managed to convert it to a point.
Vietnam.
Now the coach of Vietnam will be calling his version of a timeout here. And so far, Mela, this is a very comfortable lead for Team Indonesia.
Yeah, 2 points away from taking this game, and it's just not a comfortable lead. It has been a comfortable game, all in all, for Indonesia. It didn't seem like they had a, hard time because, like you said, it has been a collective effort talaga for Team Indonesia. So parang hindi natin sila nakikita na as frustrated as Team Vietnam because, the scoring is in shared load.
Unlike on the other side, you've been mentioning the name of their captain, Tu Tan Tuan, who's been carrying the load for the Vietnamese squad.
Yeah, and the Vietnam coach has already tried both the setters, but the tempo hasn't really changed that much. We've seen glimpse when they changed the setter, nagkaroon ng mga mas maraming middle attacks. Pero in terms of really generating points, hindi talaga masyadong nakakapag-collect itong Vietnam.
Well, there again, we saw Tu Tan Tuan just trying to convert there, but a block. That would be a game changer for the side of the Vietnamese squad.
Definitely
Timeout, Indonesia.
against one of the main guns of Indonesia.
That came from Tien, denying Irvan. So it's quite interesting if this changes the complexion of the game because this is still possible. It's just a 3-point disadvantage for the Vietnamese squad. But Indonesia, when they regroup, when they come back inside the court.
Seen good results every time they regroup. But it's not too late for Vietnam to turn things around here in this set.
And that's what we have to wait for here.
And the fans in the arena, nail-biting experience for them. Kasi the scores are close. The first set it was 20-25, and then second set 22-25. So we really want to see how Vietnam can stay close in this game. However, that middle attack has no blockers for Indonesia, leading them to go on the match point.
Zulfi, who did not start, but is making also his presence felt here. It is now match point situation for the Indonesian squad. Serve coming from Indonesia, overcooked there. Point goes to the side of Team Vietnam. That came from Sigit, but this is still doable. 3-point disadvantage. As Vietnam goes for that jump serve, that is overcooked, unfortunately.
Costly
error for Team Vietnam.
At the end of this match, Indonesia wins in straight sets, 25-20, 25-22, and 25-21.
So it's going to be interesting, Mela, as to how these two squads will perform in the upcoming days. Pero yan ang ating abangan. But when we return, Mela, we will break down this game furthermore only here at the 30th Southeast Asian Games Volleyball Tournament.